Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Mira. I realized that I have actually never introduced myself to you guys, and I'm also off-center. So let's fix that. Yes, there we go. A little bit of background about me before we kind of get into the nitty-gritty, because whenever I'm watching a YouTube video and someone starts kind of going off on a tangent, being like, I'm always like, okay, but who are you to tell me how to feel about my life? But I just wanted to let you guys know that I am actually a certified life coach. I have a degree in performance and stress management coaching. So yeah, and I'm actually really passionate about helping people and kind of solving their problems. And if I can like merge that with equestrians and equestrian stuff, then I'm really happy. So yeah, that is the long-term goal for this YouTube channel, is to kind of let you guys into my life to help anyone who's struggling to kind of be a support, I guess. Yeah. But anyway, let's get into the video about what I actually wanted to talk to you guys. I've got my little trusty notebook where I keep all of my secrets. You can't actually see. There are the secrets. I wanted to sit down today and film a video about something that I guess I've seen kind of circulating in the equestrian realm, equestrian sphere, equestrian community is the word I was looking for. So something that I've been seeing quite a lot of nowadays is this notion of I'm disappointing my horse. So somebody, let's say they do really badly at a show jumping show, and the first thing that they think is, oh, I've let my horse down. I wish I hadn't done such a bad job. I let my horse down. Basically, when we do this, we are placing human behavior onto horses. So I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Come close. Horses can actually be disappointed. They don't know disappointment. We like to really put human characteristics onto horses. So we like to say, oh, my horse is angry at me, my horse is holding a grudge, my horse is disappointed in this case. Your horse isn't disappointed in you. You are disappointed in you. What's happening is that you put expectations on yourself. For example, you go to a show jumping show and you absolutely tank. You are horrible. You get there, everything goes absolutely horribly wrong. And in the end, you come out and you're saying, oh, I've disappointed my horse is disappointed in me. No, you are disappointed in you, not your horse. You're just placing that extra pressure on yourself, that extra external pressure. It's really common. A lot of people do this. They put kind of, they can do it with people, but we do it with horses as well, especially in the equestrian world, when you want to do a good job. And then when you don't do a good job, you kind of place extra pressure on yourself. And that extra pressure comes out in you saying, oh, I let my horse down. So we're so used to having external pressure put onto us by our coach, by our parents, by our teachers, whoever, that we start placing extra pressure onto ourselves for whatever reason. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So because there's extra pressure put onto us, we put more extra pressure onto ourselves, which in turn, it's kind of like a cycle. Some people do this as an excuse to just be hard on themselves. So from my experience, I remember when I was here in the UK and my horse was back in Hungary and I was trying to find him a place. So originally my plan was to bring my horse over in like October, and then he had an injury. And of course, I decided that I had let my horse down by keeping him in Hungary instead of bringing him out to the UK, and that he's now disappointed in me. And I remember I was just sitting there crying. And I think my boyfriend kind of looked at me and he was like, I don't think Cho has any expectations of you, to be really honest. And I was like, what? And I remember sitting there thinking, and it literally felt like there was this weight being lifted off my shoulders when I realized that in actuality, he was right. He has nothing to do with horses. He's not a horse person at all. But he was so right. I was placing this characteristic onto Cho as a projection of what I was feeling for myself. So I sat down and I kind of thought about it, and I thought about what you guys can also do if you're ever faced with a situation where you feel that you've kind of projected these pressures that you have for yourself, and the steps that you can take to kind of, one, identify and to overcome it. If you're there in this situation, you can think about, okay, so let's take the example of doing really badly at a show. You come out of the arena and you say, I tanked, I let my horse down. And then you stop yourself and you realize, oh, wait a minute, I am projecting. And then you think, why am I projecting this? So question number one that you can ask yourself is, did I do everything in my power? Was I prepared? Obviously, you can say, well, no, I wasn't prepared because I didn't train more at home and I didn't do enough, and I should have ridden more before the jumping show, and I should have checked that stride, blah, blah, blah. Okay, calm down. Everything is fine. If you look at it rationally, without your emotions, without being all riled up about the fact that you disappointed yourself and your horse and everyone around you, if your friend came up to you and said they prepared the exact same amount, blah, blah, and this had happened to them, would you say, well, you should have prepared more? If you say, well, no, of course not, I think they did a really good job preparing, well, then tell yourself that as well. Be your friend, because you need to be your number one fan, you need to be your number one supporter. So if you feel that your friend was prepared enough, then you were also prepared enough. You had, I don't know, 2 jumping trainings a week. You really put your all into it. You packed all your stuff. You looked at the course. It was really just an unfortunate turn of events. Your horse wasn't feeling it that day. There was bad weather coming. The person in front of you did blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, you were prepared. It wasn't your fault that this had happened. Of course, everything can be turned back and be said, oh, but it was my fault. Oh, there's a hurricane. Well, it's my fault because why was I there? Like, you can always do that. You can do that in every single situation. But if you look at it rationally, were you prepared enough? And if you can answer yes, well, then that's that. Because if you can honestly, rationally answer yes, then you need to stop thinking about, okay, how much I messed up in the past, but you need to start thinking about what I can do in the future to prepare even more. And you really need to be rational with yourself. So the fact that it was raining on the day of your show, that's not your fault. You couldn't have predicted that. On the other hand, if you feel that you weren't prepared enough, then you need to sit down and think, why was I not prepared enough? This is actually not something that I want. Maybe your trainer wants you to attend shows and you have absolutely no desire to compete. It's just your trainer. Or you feel that your horse is too good of a jumping horse not to compete in show jumping, but maybe you want to compete in dressage. Well, then you do you, boo. You go compete in dressage. It's your life. You need to live your own life. Your horse doesn't have any expectations of you. Your horse is a horse. I'm really sorry if it's a different angle, but my camera almost just fell. Anyway, and it's also getting dark, so I'm sorry. I'm gonna try and get it all out. I just love to ramble because that is who I am as a person. So your horse has no expectations. If you decided to let your horse live in a field for the rest of its life and you never visited it, chances are he'll be really happy. They don't have any desire to go to competitions. They don't have any desire to go to the Olympics. They don't have any desire to do the Piaf Passage or jump 130. None. They might enjoy jumping, yeah, sure. But if you left them to their own devices, they don't have any ambitions. They're only doing it because they're like, hey, there's this human on my back. They really want this, so hey, let's go do it. So you're just placing that external pressure on yourself for absolutely no reason other than you projecting your own disappointment. At the end of the day, everyone needs to understand that every mistake is an opportunity for growth. Instead of looking at it as this horrible thing that happened to you, you need to sit down, analyze it logically, not emotionally, and think, okay, if I'm faced with this situation, what could I do better next time? How could I be more prepared? What would have made that situation less horrible? In a lot of cases, you couldn't have done anything. So, it is what it is. We're all imperfect, and that's what makes us human. If you don't fail, then you're not trying, because failure isn't an indication that you're terrible. It's an indication that you're trying something new. You're trying something different. You're trying to learn something. And that's great. that's what life's all about. So next time you feel that you've disappointed your horse, remember, it's a horse. it's it's an animal. He would be very happy out in the field, just grazing with his friends. You disappointed yourself, and see, that is something that you need to think about. Why did you disappoint yourself? But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in to this different type of video. I'm planning on making more coach type videos to help anyone who's interested and who's been struggling with these things, because I think if I would have had a YouTube channel or a friend or a therapist or a coach who would have told me these things a year ago, I would have saved myself a lot of struggles, I guess. I will see you guys in the next video.